following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Great emotion. Ingram now gets it into the front court for the Hawkeyes. Ingram, a gutty player, came back courageous way after a serious knee operation. They lob it to Jepson, taken away. Irvin Small or Rodney Jones got a hand on that one. On the other end, Gill. Too strong, he picks up the foul.
When you talk about the big guards, the senior class big guards, you start with Kendall Gill. However, a lot of people are starting to believe one of my most underrated players in America, Brian Oliver, might be moving up a notch in the eyes of a lot of the NBA people.
Ingram picked up the foul, and Kendall Gill out of Madison, Illinois.
I really like Gill. I'll tell you, Jimmy Boeheim spoke so highly of him. And what about Syracuse? Since they went to the guard setup as he misses the free throw, they've been outstanding. Great win over Georgetown. Tough win tonight in New York. I think Jimmy Boeheim made a great adjustment putting Owens to the baseline.
Edwards starting tonight for Syracuse in that game.
Well, he gives him the rhythm of a true guard. All right, here comes pressure on the ball, trapping. Athleticism, athletic ability goes to Illinois.
So much more being asked of players like Skinner and Moses.
Liberty. Look at Liberty. He's just zoning in the lane. He plays Mike Ingram, but he stays in the lane.
Jepson on the blocks. Jones with the rebound, fouled by Moses.
Few words by Mike Ingram and Jones. They're talking to each other as they walk up and down the floor. Moses has really been a mystique kind of player. Came in and out of high school out of California with a reputation as being a pure shooter. He has struggled shooting the rock. Here goes the trapping defense. He's going to try to invite him into a trap. Tom Davis known for multiple defenses, full court pressure. There's the trap.
Now Kendall Gill down on the blocks. The lob for Liberty, too strong, and Jepson clears. Moses, that's his spot. Jepson on the offensive glass.
Jepson really plays hard, Tim.
Gill got a hand on that one, knocking it away. And Iowa will trigger it in.
Jepson's making himself a pro prospect. He was invited to the All-Star Clash down in Orlando where they feature some of the great collegians.
Ingram coming out. Matt Bullard, who also is nursing a bad knee, coming into the game along with A.C. Earl, number 55. This is an Iowa team on the mend, as has been well documented. The loss of Ray Thompson and Brian Garner causing all kinds of problems in the backcourt. And it's turned over, and the Illini get it back.
They lost an outstanding player in Raymond Thompson, but he's got to start to mature and show some maturity as a guy. Academically ineligible last year at the end of the season. Had some problems this year off the court, and then he loses his eligibility academically again. He's a great athlete, multiple players, defensively and offensively.
This was an Iowa team at 8-1 at one point this year. Their only decisive loss to UNLV, and that's when both Thompson and Garner were around. And there's one knocked away.
Jepson blocks it as they try to get into the gap against Jepson. Earl! A.C. Earl, he missed 3 weeks because he was suspended from the team because of a little problem off the court. He's a shot blocker, Tim, normally, not a scorer.
2-1 Hawkeyes. 3 minutes gone from Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Zone defense.
Jones turned it over. Tom Rooker hits the deck. And he may have pulled a hamstring there.
He's smiling. He says, I'm okay. He's from out of Detroit. One of the premier officials in the Big Ten.
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring badly. They're going to sit him down now. Embarrassed for the moment, but certainly injured.
Yeah, he is in pain. There's the dump down inside. A.C. Earl catches it, the diagonal pass. And the slam jam.
The call was traveling, and Tom Rooker was vehemently appearing to make this call before he goes down. You see the ankle slip.
Yeah, he tries to get in a trail position. He hits the deck, grabs his thigh area.
There are 3 sets of teams in basketball. The 2 that we witness, and the other team calling the games, and he's been one of the leaders of this team in the Big Ten.
Oh, he's definitely one of the premier officials in the Big Ten. The Big Ten has really increased, I believe, its quality, especially with Jim Delaney making a solid move, bringing in Rich Falk. They're taking him to the locker room. I guess they're going to work with 2 guys, Tim. Well, he's going to want to give it a shot. He's a gutty guy. He says, I'm all right. I'm going to give it a shot. Tom Rooker I know Tom a long time, having coached in Detroit. He's a quality educator as well as an official. Just a super guy. He said, I had a walk. See what he remembered? He remembered the call. I had a walk in a violation.
One of the few times you'll hear an ovation from any crowd for a striped jersey, and they're not striped in the Big Ten with their new shirts that they have, but it's good to see Tom Rooker as well. They would have had to have gone with just the 2 officials had he not been able to continue. Webb is in the game, number 42, Jay Webb, providing the screen for Moses, and it's a charge by James, the sophomore out of Carson, California.
James charges right there. You know, they were up 35 rather, 34 against Purdue, and then Purdue's Clyburn hits a 3-point shot with 4 seconds to go, and Moses was really outstanding in the first half, but then Gene Cady locked him up, put Tony Jones on him. He didn't score in the second half, and in the second half, Purdue went bananas. They hit 17 for 21 to blow them out, 80 to 59.
Skinner with the steal to Lookenbill.
Nice little dish by Skinner. I think it's kind of tough to trap with the kind of team he has on the floor. They don't have a lot of speed. Illinois should be able to throw the ball diagonally and get some layups. There it is. There it is.
Yep, Bardo to Small. Absolutely. Coach Vitale all over that one. 4-3 the score. Almost 4 minutes deep.
Well, they're so much quicker, Tim, and if you look diagonally away from the trap, you'll have an open man.
Small goes for the steal, and A.C. Earl uses the glass.
A.C. Earl, the big guy, hanging around in the lane. He's getting some QT now, quality time. There's a 2-2-1 press. They like to invert out of it. See, they're going to get layups against this pressure.
Small, too strong, and Bullard wipes the glass.
I believe they can carve the press apart for layups.
Earl left free. Bardo clears for the Illini.
You think about the ammunition and the firepower they lost, losing Roy Marble, B.J. Armstrong, Eddie Horton.
Hill. That's what makes 2, and it's 6-5.
That's what makes him really a special player. He has the versatility to shoot the perimeter shot as well as drive to the basket with it.
Interesting that you point up the 2-2-1 zone pressure by Iowa defensively. Davis with a system, not about to change it with the personnel losses he suffered.
Matt Bullard with the spinning jumper. They're going to get it out to Liberty. He's going to get it to Liberty.
3-on-2 for Marcus. It won't go off the window, and a tie ball, the arrow to Iowa.
You know, Marcus Liberty has really arrived. He's been having a lot of big games. Was a Prop 48, was a sensational high school player, but now is starting to become a dominant college player. We're going to take a look right now, Tim, at how they throw the diagonal pass against the trap. For all you people out there, follow the basketball when it goes to the wing. Now here comes Bardo spinning. Puts it on his left hand. Now watch how he'll draw the trap to him. Freeze it right there. There it is. You know, he draws the trap, and now he throws the ball diagonally to the wide open Small, and he converts. A perfect clinic on how to beat the trap. Look opposite from the trap, and you have the open layup.
Dick, when you look at Iowa, and from the floor, both teams having some problems, Illinois obviously not launching as many. If you're Tom Davis and you lose a couple of players of the magnitude in the backcourt of a Thompson and Garner, do you consider about slowing it down and changing the tempo and the system that your team utilizes?
I would, Tim, you know, but again, Tom Davis has a philosophy, has a system he likes, he believes in, and he believes in staying with that system. However, I think sometimes you got to evaluate and you got to assess your personnel, and if you don't have quickness, I think it's pretty tough to play full court pressure.
Yeah, and you see right now the problems that Iowa has in the wake of losing Garner and Thompson right there in that transition as they commit the violation with Ingram caught with no help.
Garner was a quick player, gave him some speed in the backcourt. Some rumors they may transfer to New Orleans. Or Bradley. There's his own defense right now. Lookenbill 34. Watch how he sinks inside. Pressure here. Now watch him sink 34 down and inside.
Liberty.
Oh, that's a great athlete.
Oh, count it! And the foul against Ingram.
Kendall Gill, that's just pure athletic ability. What's amazing, he was not one of the premier superstars coming out of high school. He's on the weak side. Now here comes the jumper off the glass. Now look at him on the weak side, and he shows his versatility. That's a guard, my friends. That's a guard. He's a guard, rebound, and counting. Jimmy Boeheim said he's one of the toughest guards that he has seen play against Syracuse in his years up at Syracuse.
And he adds the free throw, and it's 8-6 Illinois.
Remember this, Iowa with this makeshift basketball team beat Michigan right here in overtime. So they can be a spoiler, and this crowd can be a valuable force.
Jepson got Small airborne, and Les will go to the line.
You know, Tim, when you talk about most improved players in America, 3 guys jump at me immediately. I think of North Carolina State. I think of Tom Gugliotta, a guy that came from nowhere. He came from a guy sitting on a bench eating a lot of spaghetti to now a guy who's making Valvano eat spaghetti after the game with some wins. As we look at Jepson, look at the changes in his numbers right there, rebounding and scoring, and he has to be one of them. But also, Felton Spencer, to me, is the most improved player in America. He was a caddy for Purvis Ellison last year, and now he's become a star with Louisville.
One of the reasons for his improvement may be the fact that he now has graduated. He's already received his bachelor's degree, is now a graduate student in computer science here at Iowa.
Oh, Bowman pushes the ball up the court. See, again, that's the speed and quickness. Open up the court, and the advantage belongs to Illinois.
Liberty with the hoop, and it's 10-7 now, a 3-point lead for the Illini.
Bowman's been inserted in their starting lineup to provide a little quickness.
Wickenbo picks up the block from Bardo. Many times you find with athletes, to continue that point on Jepson, those that have the 3.0 GPAs, and for years he was all academic at Iowa, suddenly without the academic restraints, they can open up, concentrate on their game a bit more while a graduate student, and that's what Les has done. He's admitted that.
I think also what's happened for him, Tim, he's gained a little confidence. He's become an important option as opposed to just purely a guy that was the 5th option.
Jepson. He does not get the roll, and it's a charge as called by Tom Rooker.
He gets a little frustrated on calls. Tom Davis was quoted in the paper today saying that Jepson gets a little frustrated at times when he has some calls. He's trying to carry the team. He really carries with him the feeling of the importance of being their #1 option.
See the team fouls.
I think they're going to get a layup again. See, he turned his back to the play, so he lost the vision. Bowman could shoot it.
The three-pointer won't go. A.C. Earl controls it for Iowa. Bullard, a three-pointer. Too strong. Good block out by the Illini. And now
they got the numbers.
The 3-2 play for PJ. And it's a block. Reed picks it up. Dale Reed, number 3 in white.
They get the block, Reed gets the foul, but Bowman really broke down what is taught to you as a point guard. Rather than coming to the free throw line and looking right and left, he takes the ball right to the goal. See, he should pick up right now, right at the foul line. He should look right and left. He's got trailers, he's got people with him. Could have been called for the charge, leaving his feet flying in the air.
Dale Reed sitting down. Troy Skinner has come back into the game for him. Reed and Skinner are a pair of guys that eventually will be quality Big Ten players, but they're not ready for the Big Ten battles right now, not at this point in their career.
I don't want to malign the kids. They play hard, they got great attitudes, but I don't believe the level of quality of talent they have now at Iowa is capable of getting them into the upper division. They're going to have to bring in some big-time recruits. Remember this, George Raveling brought in Armstrong, Marble, Ed Horton, and the last recruit is right there. Jepson is the last George Raveling recruit. Tom Davis has to prove that he can recruit. Oh, there's definitely a foul on Small.
Yep, against Jepson.
Hillary nailed him. Ted Hillary caught that foul immediately.
Second foul against Small.
That might have been an intentional foul. I'll tell you what, that was a cheap shot right now. That's a cheap shot. Watch this right here. He definitely throws a cheap shot at him. Try to beat him to the spot. He bumped him.
They run the special off the inbounds to A.C. Earl. He grazes the iron, and P.J. Bowman again looking to run a 4-on-3.
See, that's smart right there. That's a smart play. Pull up the foul line, and you have 3 options. 1, shoot the jumper. 2, look right. 3, look left.
13-7 now. The Illini on a run. And a steal by Gill on the baseline out of bounds. And it will be owned to Iowa.
It's amazing that you can have the mental concentration as we look at Lou Henson, who right now has to feel the pressure of the NCAA investigation, which has been completed, and now they're waiting for the letter from the NCAA with the findings.
Nice entry pass Inside to Bully. Moses with an excellent entry.
They really work on that. That's really an art taught by Tom Davis. The entry into the low boxes off the horizontal screens. Bullard with the score inside.
Liberty.
Notice the pass right through the defense. The diagonal pass again, Tim. Wide open. Any cross-court diagonal pass is wide open.
15-9. It's so obvious how much more difficult it is for Iowa to score than the Illini. Jepson puts it on the floor, drop steps, and drops it through.
That was one heck of a move by Jepson. So here's the athletic ability running the court.
That one an incompleted forward pass, but it does point up how much easier it is for Illinois than for Iowa to get there too.
Jepson really working hard inside. Number 51, he draws the crowd, drop step, spins to the lane, keeps his balance, keeps his pivot foot, doesn't lift it, converts it, and scores.
15-11. 8 minutes deep from Carver Hawkeye Arena. We welcome you to Big Monday. Tim Brando along with Dick Vitale. Syracuse already a winner over St. John's in the Big East half of Big Monday.
You know, Jepson came here as a suspect, and now he has definitely become a prospect, an NBA prospect. He's made himself that with great work ethic, and of course he has the size. You can't teach 7 feet tall.
A double dribble as we go to break. Illinois by 4. It had been suggested that Lou Henson would not shake hands with Dr. Tom Davis earlier tonight. You see, it was indeed Dr. Tom that initiated what warmth there was. That's Bruce Pearl, the assistant coach, that allegedly taped the conversation that the NCAA has been looking into. So now we know that Lou, in fact, has shaken hands. It's amazing that these are the stories that we have to follow so closely. And that's Jimmy Collins, the assistant coach in question during the recruitment of Deion Thomas. You see, Jimmy Collins was the assistant coach on the other end. There he is to the left of your screen, right behind Lou Henson.
He played for Lou at New Mexico State. I know one thing, the coaches were not very happy, even though I certainly didn't talk to Lou Henson, but I found out from inside sources the coaches, Jimmy Collins, Lou Henson, were not very happy with the comments in today's paper, the quotes by the Chancellor of Illinois, Weir, who certainly didn't lend any support to his coaching staff with the quotes we read in today's paper here, the Gazette.
It has become an intercollegiate Watergate between these two schools.
Now the zone defense. There's a look at the zone. Lukenbill at the point. There's Kaufman with some penetration.
A lot of problems in both backcourts where turnovers are concerned. Double dribbles, 10-second violations, and now a travel by the Illini.
I'll tell you, it's amazing when you look at Iowa right now in terms of their makeup of their personnel. What a great pass that is.
Lukenbill gets the foul from Kaufman.
I'm so used to coming here, Tim, and seeing Marble and B.J. Armstrong. They seem to have been here forever, and now we have a whole new cast on the floor.
Dr. Tom Davis, his front line.
Question is, will Dr. Tom be here, or will he be in Charlottesville, Virginia? All kinds of rumors. I asked him today as Lukenbill goes to the free throw line. I says, Tom, if they offer you the job, would you go to Virginia? And I'll tell you one thing, he did not completely rule it out, as if you spoke to, let's say, a Bobby Knight or a Mike Krzyzewski, and they would say, hey, I'm staying here. Indiana, I love it. I love it down at Duke. Tom says, well, you know, you have to look at different things, but I'm certainly happy here. I think if they offer him the job, he'll go to Charlottesville.
15-12. Lukenbill gets one of the two at the stripe.
There's Lukenbill now up at the point. Now he'll slide inside, leaving the top of the key open.
Bounce pass to Gill.
Nice combination. Bardo and Gill. Who would you rather have? Bardo and Gill, Torchiani and Monroe? I'll let you answer that, Dr. Brando. I don't want to get in trouble.
Gill has 8. Skinner dishes to Lukenbill. Out of bounds. Oh, a foul against Bardo or Jones. It's Jones that picks it up, and they've been tussling throughout, Dick.
Jones has been giving him some scoring inside. There's the penetration, tries to split the defense, dishes it off, and there's Lukenbill right now to foul on Jones, reaching in with the left hand. Jones gave him 18 big points against Ohio State. They were behind. It came from behind. Perry Carter was driving them bananas, had 25 points, 16 rebounds, and they finally went to a zone defense, Illinois, and broke the game open in the second half.
Oh, the problems at the line continue, and Iowa will be shooting the bonus the rest of the way. You saw that team fouls already at 7. Lookenbill 1 of 3 at the stripe already.
Hey, wait a minute now. You still didn't answer my question. I want to know, don't be a politician as he converts the free throw. Which backcourt would you rather have?
I'd rather have these two because they can go to the NCAAs.
Oh, I tell you what a cop-out.
No, I like Corciani and Monroe. I agree with you.
I'll take these two. I'll take these two.
Gil puts it in.
I'll take them because of the defensive end, the size, the rebounding power, and I'll tell you what, we'll go 2-on-2. You take Corciani, Monroe, I'll coach these two, you coach those two, and I know I'll have an automatic W. Picked up his dribble, that's a no-no. See the quickness and the pressures making him struggle with each pass. Now they're going to slide somebody to the box.
Bullard driving the baseline. The only question where Matt Bullard is concerned is stamina with the knee. Not his physical stamina, just stamina of the knee. He can only play about 20 to 22 minutes.
Bullard was such an outstanding player when he came here from Colorado, where he dominated. He's an outstanding collegiate for the University of Colorado. Transfer.
Bardo for 3.
Bardo shows that he can shoot the long-range jumper if he catches the ball and takes a good look at the goal.
Lookenbill. Yes, and it counts. Jones fouled him.
Tom Davis does an excellent job teaching a transition game, and he really posts to the box. Lou Henson not happy with Kaufman right there. They run the ball up the court quickly, Iowa, and they're always looking to the boxes. There they are. Dump it down to the box, a trademark. And there's the head fake. Lookenbill's one of those kids that hustles and scraps. This summer he played for an Iowa AAU team, and they went to the Soviet Union. And his teammate, Skinner, joined him on that team. Got some good experience.
Kaufman got the foul rather than Jones. And it's still woes at the line for Iowa. 22-15, the Illini. Jones.
Weak side rebound.
An air ball brought down by Ingram.
Ingram a rebounder. That knee limits his mobility.
Well, they're really forcing him to bring the ball up a great deal. Illinois team.
We had a little clinic today, Mr. Ingram and yours truly, on the art of rebounding. We talked about the block out. That knee has really created a dilemma. He's even limping right now, but what a courageous athlete and just a quality guy. I've had a chance to meet his mom, too, last year. And I know she's got to be proud that Michael's given it the effort to want to even make an effort to play with that knee.
He's no longer wearing the steel mummy-like wrap that he once had to wear. That's helped him. And remember, he injured it against Brown in a game where Iowa led by 48 points. And boy, any coach would hate to see any injury, but when a team is up by 48 in a game of no consequence, which that one was, that's really a heartache.
Well, you know, he came out of Proviso West High School. He's from out of Bellwood, Illinois, so he's an Illinois guy. He said this game is special for him playing against Illinois. Here goes full court pressure. Oh, Liberty's trying to get him a trap. He said, where are you guys? We're supposed to trap. Lack of communication.
Knocked away and out of bounds. Bardo got a hand on it. Liberty has 6 points in the game. He and Kendall Gill giving the offensive punch that Lou Henson would always expect as Tom Davis brings Skinner back into the game, and Reed will sit out.
If Iowa's going to really have a chance to win, they're going to need some points out of Moses. He's going to have to drop the tray to open up the lanes inside because they're packing it down inside. They don't respect the shooting ability of Iowa.
Bullard. Jepson follows.
Jepson trying to keep him on a game, working on the glass. He was our Windex Player of the Week 2 weeks ago.
And was honored prior to the start of tonight's game.
That was really a special honor. He was really happy. He really wanted to thank all the Windex people for bestowing that honor upon him.
Les has 3 in the game.
He's been certainly the outstanding player here. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, court report I have. Ready for it? I'm going to announce my Player of the Year mid-season. And it should be a little bit fun.
All right.
Are you going to listen?
You bet.
You better listen to Sports Center and listen to my Player of the Year thus far.
That's why I booked my flight into Pittsburgh early enough so I could get to the hotel room in order to watch.
Stop lying.
So Jepson gets one at the line. It's 24-16, and Kaufman re-enters the game for Illinois.
So here comes the pressure now. Moses trying to invite him to a trap. See, I think teams scout so well today. They looked at film, and I think they're really ready for the Iowa pressure. I really do. I think that they got to change a little bit. Skip pass right over the top of the defense.
Bardo looking for the screen from Jones, but it doesn't work. Moses gets by him.
They reverse the ball, throw the skip pass. Bardo's going to be open on the wing. Right over the top, they have Bardo if they throw it over the top.
Kaufman will take it.
Hoffman came in with a reputation, big-time scorer out of high school, had a blood clot last year, had to miss most of the season. Bullard shows versatility. That's so important. Hitting the tray is so important as the fans in Iowa. I love this facility. It's just beautiful here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Beautiful building.
24-19, Kaufman counter.
That's why he's been inserted in the lineup to give him that perimeter jumper out of Jacksonville High School in Illinois. Scored a lot of points in high school. Average 29.8.
Earl solos. Out of control, a charge against AC.
AC Earl, not the guy you want in the middle with the ball in transition.
Another change by the Hawkeyes as Rodell Davis comes into the game. Number 15 in white as AC Earl goes back to the other end, and Illinois, because of the bonus, will be at the stripe.
You know, prior to losing Ray Thompson, Tom Davis had this club playing really well. In fact, they beat North Carolina. And North Carolina right now, it's been blowout city the last 3 games over Duke, North Carolina State, Clemson. Dean Smith got that team rolling in high gear, and King Rice playing solid point guard.
Jepson rips it down.
See, right now, they got to get some points from the perimeter.
They've been outscored, this Iowa backcourt, 16-2 in the first 12 minutes.
Bullard made the World University Games team, played with Larry Johnson, coached by Gene Cady and Jim Boeheim. They won the gold medal, beat the Soviet Union. It's so unfortunate the injuries he's had to suffer.
He will not get the roll, does pick up a foul. Tom Rooker calls him down on the baseline.
He doesn't have the kind of quickness he had prior to his knee injuries. He injured the left knee last year, this year the right knee.
7:30 remaining, the Illini by 7. 9 p.m. Central Time, and boy, Vegas with a very difficult loss, but certainly a great game yesterday at LSU.
Oh, tremendous basketball game, 107-105. Chris Jackson put on a show. You know, you mentioned Vegas in the Big West. Long Beach State, as we look at Lou Henson, they beat Purdue. And the Big West has got some solid basketball teams, but I think when it's all said and done, Vegas will be the king as usual in the league. They thought they had a double dribble right there on Bardo.
The Illini backcourt, certainly the difference in this game. Outscoring Iowa 16-2 in the first 13 minutes here at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
See, Bardo has a great size. He looks right over the top of the
What a
defense.
dish by Kaufman. Liberty can't handle it, and it's ripped away by Jepson.
Well, Marcus, a little too casual shooting that ball. Came out of King High School where they still reign supreme. Landon Sonny Cox is another great team headed by Jamie Brandon. Earl, who scored, they're not playing him. See how Liberty just plays right off him?
Yeah.
Liberty just zones in the lane. So it's really like 5 against 4. He's not even going to check him. He's going to say, you can play with the ball out there all you want, AC.
He made his first 2 hoop stick, then missed a couple, got a charge, and now not really looking to shoot, although now he's posting up down low. On the blocks, he'll take it, and he puts it down. Well, he must have good ears.
Well, I'll tell you, that was an excellent play right there by AC. Good little head fake.
Bowman.
They're too quick up and down the floor. They beat Iowa up the floor as Iowa's trying to get into their pressure.
28-21. The Illini by 7.
See, I think Tom Davis would be better off just falling back into a straight zone, try to slow up, negate the running game, and opening the court against Illinois. Trying to post Jepson.
Moses for 3. Way too strong.
Not even close.
Jepson with the jump hook. Too strong. Jones clears to Liberty. Marcus looking to shoot. The iron was kind for Liberty, and it's 30-21 Illinois.
Change of direction. Good front change by Liberty. So you got to make these open shots. Jepson hits the open J. See, right now, look, they always have the numbers, Tim. They beat him up the floor. Now they got to just fall into that zone and try to slow the pace of the game. The zone normally does 2 things. It makes you have to make the extra pass offensively, and it slows the tempo. Look at Jepson. He's trying to fire up the crowd. They got a lot of size out there, Iowa.
Jones. Jepson clears.
He's given everything he has. You talk about an athlete getting maximum out of their ability.
Skinner.
They need the 3. And the Hawkeye fans go bananas.
And a steal by Skinner. Looking Bill. Cleared by Jones. And again the numbers.
Center the ball, PJ.
A solo by Bowman.
Just get the wide open shot. Mary Henson gives it big cheers sitting behind the Illinois bench.
32-26. Skinner fouled by Kaufman.
They're hanging close right here. They're doing a good job, Iowa, getting some open shots offensively. If they can slow Illinois down and slow the pace down and make the game a little slower, I think they'd have a shot here tonight.
Remember, Kaufman with the three, but that's a position where Lou Henson has a few options as he brings Small back into the game. Liberty comes out.
Small gives him a rebounder and a defensive player. He's also out of Simeon High School, the high school that produced Deion Thomas, who's not in the lineup all year, sitting on the sideline. I think some of the repercussions, you know, we talked about during SportsCenter involving all of this is the fact that Iowa could pay a penalty over the alleged, well, not the alleged, over the taping of the conversation where they really ruffle some feathers in the city of Chicago in the public school leagues and could have a tough time going to Simeon, Bob Hampert, the coach there, and going to King trying to recruit those quality players.
Skinner gets two. He has five, and it's appreciated by the fans as Dale Reed comes in for him. The pressure picks up. A 4-point Illini lead.
Dale Reed had some unbelievable numbers when he played in high school out of Wyoming. Here he is, number 3. Put pressure on the ball.
He handled that double team well. Bowman drives the baseline, and he needs help.
You almost get the picture that Illinois feels they can win anytime they want. And they have that casual approach, which can be very dangerous. And I'd be a little scared of that if I were Lou Henson.
Kaufman for 3. A nice block out by Bullard.
Bullard and Jepson fundamentally solid. There's Reed. He averaged 40 points a game in high school. They dump it to the boxes.
Webb. No foul. And it's run down by Moses. Too strong, cleared by Kaufman. Bodies on the floor, and Lou wants him to settle down offensively.
Moses really struggling shooting the ball, really having a tough time.
Tom Davis wanted a foul down underneath. He's giving some lip to Dan Crispin now at the top of your screen. Off the front iron, Moses with a 2-on-2. A whip pass to Webb, and it brings the foul.
Webb from out of California, big, strong player. Out of high school, was a dominant force inside out of San Jose, California, a low post player. There's Moses with the loose ball. There's Reed. Reed wants the rock, but now Webb the trailer. See, here comes the trailer. Watch 42. That's called the trailer. He dumps it. He trails in the offensive set. Gets fouled on a play. His mom wrote a book on recruiting information. And she wrote a book, and she wants it available for every youngster. She wrote it based on her experiences sitting in, listening to recruiters recruit her son right here, Jay Webb.
A 60-page handbook by Aquila Webb, and in talking with him earlier today, I asked him how sales were going. She said quite good, and considering the circumstances in Illinois and Iowa, it should do well.
I got a beautiful letter from his mom. She sounds like a great lady. I haven't had a chance to meet her, but it was a beautiful letter.
32-29. The fans love it at Carver Hawkeye. 32-29 our score as we look into the Iowa huddle. The gentleman you see dressed dapperly behind the Hawkeyes is Rudy Washington, who is the president of the Black Coaches Association, and well, he's done an excellent job as an assistant through the years.
Well, he does a great job with that organization as well, staying on top of what's happening in America. Rudy, for years, has been the teacher of rebounding at Iowa, and Iowa, for years, has been one of the top rebounding teams in America, certainly when they've had the personnel. He also worked with George Raveling, and I believe Rudy's ready for a chance somewhere in America to be a head coach.
Field goal shooting improving for the Illini, but of course Iowa really pushing the tempo of this game. Give Tom Davis credit. He's using what lineup he has and getting the most from it. Kendall Gill knocks it in inside the paint.
See how easy and how fluid they get the open shot. They really play with so much confidence and poise, but I think there's a tendency to be a little bit lackadaisical tonight on the Illinois kids. I really do. I think that they got out to the early lead. And now they're going to have to pick up that enthusiasm.
Jepson down on the blocks with a hand in his face. Earl following. Tipped away by Jones, cleared to Liberty.
That's one of the real negatives with Illinois. They don't have a strong baseline. Really a perimeter-oriented team, a la Georgia Tech, who's run into some tough times. 2-4 now in the ACC. Lost a heartbreaker yesterday to Duke.
Ken Gibson is in the game now, number 20 for the blue and orange of Illinois, and he'll take the three. Too strong. Jepson with the rebound. Dale Reed looking long.
He's got to think a little bit. He's got a nice shot. I was watching him shoot during the workouts. There's the entry.
Over Jones, and he puts it in.
Tim, they live on that 45-degree angle entry. From the wing down to the low box. Gary Williams does that also down in Maryland. He played at Maryland, but he coached under Tom Davis and utilizes many of the things in his system.
Jones, too strong. Jepson, an absolute rebounding machine throughout the course of this game. 2 minutes left in the first half. Davis!
Liddell Davis, strong drive to the goal. He's been limited with some serious knee problems.
Listen to this. This is the tradition of Iowa basketball.
Illinois better lace them up and come out to play in the second half. They got a war in their hands.
Pardo with the rebound.
And remember, Tim, this game is big to them. They need this win if they're going to remain in the hunt for one of the top positions in the Big Ten. They already have 3 big L's. They can't afford the 4th against a 1-16.
Here comes the crowd again.
There's that zone. There's the diagonal pass. Right over the top of the zone.
Liberty, what a nice move on the blocks, but Jepson with his 10th rebound of the half.
They're getting one shot. It shows you the importance of rebounding, positioning. It doesn't hurt when you're 7 feet tall. You know, it's amazing. He was a non-factor.
Tried to save it, and now he goes into the second row here. It'll take more than just a couple of rows to support that frame, but they love him here. This is a player that did not see appreciable playing time until last year.
Well, he got into the lineup last year, but with the big 3, Armstrong, Marble, and Horton, there weren't too many shots for him. Iowa's got some good recruits coming in. No big-name players. They're going to keep it in with Chris Street from the state of Iowa. Keep it in with James Winters coming in and Paul Lusk. But they haven't been able to get the blue-chip dynamite player, all of the guys that came in during the reign of Lute Olson and also the reign of George Bradley.
Coming up at halftime, scores and highlights. The Windex Player of the Week, John Saunders, is standing by. That is the game clock, the shot clock not a factor as Illinois rolls it out here. You see the game clock much like the NBA with the 10th of a second being shown.
I think Iowa's got to like its position right now. The most they can be down is 4. They knock down a 3.
Pardo for 3.
Oh, what a momentum builder. It's 4.
Moses will try to go to the link. It's not there, and we've come to halftime, but you're right. The Hawkeyes and Dr. Tom have to feel good. They're down by 4. And remember, Illinois at 5-3 in a must-win mode in January because Purdue is unbeaten with Michigan and Michigan State all in front of the Illini. Here now is John Saunders. John?
Well, Tim and Dick, Iowa, of course, down only 1 win in the Big Ten. They are very short-handed, losing players to academic eligibility losses. But just the same, they've already knocked off Michigan earlier this year, so they've shown they are capable of the upset.
With Dick Vitale, I'm Tim Brando at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Fighting Illini ranked 11th with a 4-point lead, and look at that.
I don't look that bad, do I, Timmy?
Oh, a Les Jepson in there.
Les Jepson, well, get out of my act there, messing up all my mask.
That's your basic Windex Player of the Week height. And the Illini from the floor, 48%. Iowa launching more shots, really having their problems, but Jepson on the board, single-handedly giving Iowa the 21-15 lead. That's been one of the real keys to the Hawkeyes staying in this thing.
Well, that's really been the key to Iowa basketball over the years. Outstanding rebounding team as we look at the scores. Gill on top with 12, Liberty with 8, Jepson scoring 8, Lookenbill 6, and Earl gave him 6 big points. Big game in the Big Ten coming up Wednesday. Gene Katie's got to be an early candidate for potential Coach of the Year. What an amazing job he's done as we look at backcourt scoring 25-9. Expected as Illinois lives off the backcourt. They go to Ann Arbor and they play Michigan as you look at Gill on Wednesday night. A must game for Michigan with a capital M. If they get an L Wednesday and they have 3 losses, remember this, Purdue's got 3 road wins already in the Big Ten. Never an easy accomplishment.
All the reasons why Illinois needs this victory tonight against Iowa, already with 3 conference losses, and Michigan and Michigan State out in front of them as well. Kendall Gill takes the first shot of the second half. Marcus Liberty follows.
Liberty hanging around the basket, catches the rock, inside, scores. He came out with a great class. When you think about Liberty's class, Mark Shakin, Bacon Macon, Brian Shorter, Larry Johnson. So many great athletes in that class.
Jepson with a 2-on-1. He'll take it. Follows his own shot after his 11th rebound and the foul, the end result against Jones.
Jepson should have went up a little quicker. He was anticipating the block shot, and he hesitated taking the ball to the basket. See, right here now, he's going to miss the layup because the defensive player steps in. Not an easy shot. And now look, let's see how he hesitates. He looks back over his head. Should never look back. He's got good inside position. Should have taken that up and possibly could have had a 3-point opportunity. One thing he did well there, he squared his body to the baseline.
It appears, though his frame does not prove it, he is much stronger posting up down low this year than he was a season back.
Well, I think his entire game has really elevated itself in almost every area.
39-34, just underway, second half from Carver Hawkeye Arena.
I'll tell you one thing, you take the frame and the tools and the skills of Dwayne Shintzis, and if he had the work ethic and the maturity mentally and the attitude of this kid right here, Jepson, there's no doubt Shintzis would be automatically the first pick in the NBA draft.
Jepson bothered, but it doesn't bother. Not as much as the Illini would like. 39-36.
That's great, great work ethic. That kid couldn't convert that 2 years ago.
Pardo feeds Jones baseline.
Rodney Jones, they trade off. When they play Jones, they get a little bit more scoring in the lane than when they play Small. Small gives them defense and rebounding.
It's the first 2 of the game for Jones. Skinner breaking the trap, and Lookenbill loses it. It's a part of the game that Skinner has been working on, because without Garner, without the quickness in the backcourt, and certainly with B.J. Armstrong gone, as you see Irvin Small coming back into the game, that's the aspect that's really most missing from this Iowa backcourt, the penetrating ability and the ability to break the traps. There's a foul against Skinner on P.J. Bowman.
Troy Skinner's from out of Iowa, 5'10", 170-pound south.
First foul against Troy.
He was an all-time scorer in the state of Iowa. I found out in a book reading up on him today.
No question, an outside shooter he is. A ball handler, you don't know, at least to this point. And you see coming into the game Matt Bullard again, number 50, and Lookenbill checks out for Tom Davis.
Bullard's had so many injuries. Both knees have been injured. It's been such a tough road for him here at Iowa. There's the zone, 1-2-2 zone. Some call it a 3-2 zone, 3 out, 2 in. And the movement of the ball changes the look. Watch Moses, 24, as he'll slide with the basketball. See now, slide inside, 24.
Bowman for 3.
Right over the top. Moses slow, rotating out. Doesn't bother Bowman at all. Going to a trap, trying to speed up the game.
PJ has 10 now for Illinois.
See, Illinois wants to speed up the game. They go to a trap.
Jepson right to A.C. Earl, and he gets the foul.
Excellent look by Jepson. The diagonal pass right through the defense. Spacing perfect. They're a well-coached basketball team, Iowa. Basically in the right spot. See, there they are. Now right over the top with the great size. You can see the open man. Earl goes to the line.
That foul, the second on Marcus Liberty.
The one positive, losing guys like Thompson, if you can search for a positive out of a negative situation, guys like Earl are going to get a lot more playing time with a chance to develop.
And he's coming off a 6-game suspension, so he's happy to be back with this opportunity. The problem is he's thrust into a position he was not in 6 games ago.
He was a red shirt. He was a kid that really last year, a lot of size. He's 6'11", 240. He can block shots. He's got to get motivated. He's got to want to be a player.
Liberty put it on the floor. Skinner with the near steal.
A lot of poise and patience right now by Illinois, trying to carve this defense. See, they're trying to get in a seam. A lot of good things happen when the ball goes into the gut of the defense.
Gill. Baseline extended. He knocks it home. Kendall Gill has 14.
He'll be a top 10 selection in the NBA draft. Kendall Gill will be a solid NBA player. He can guard people. He can rebound. He can run the court.
James Moses, offensively for Iowa, has not been a factor. He averages 13. He's been shut out so far, Dick. And he's flashing, trying to get free without the ball.
A.C. Earl really finding some points for him. Normally they don't get any kind of production offensively.
He has 9 points, does A.C. Earl.
See, now good things can happen when it gets into that block. He should have looked opposite Liberty.
Earl with the rejection. Small throws him down. And now the words coming from Troy Skinner.
That's the second time tonight that Small, I thought, made an unnecessary play. I thought in a post he went after Jepson earlier, and there's another situation. Remember, I don't know if it has any weight to it at all. He's from Simeon High School, the high school where Deion Thomas is from. Now watch this right here. Oh, there he is. He just grabbed. Oh, now you can't be serious if that's not an intentional mugging right there.
See, now here you see Tel Hillary in the mix of that, and they're trying to settle it down. Now, they could issue a warning, but if you don't call a foul, then you're asking for more trouble. And it was a personal foul called, his third.
I think Lou Henson did the smartest thing, got him out of the lineup, put him on a sideline. That's a no-no. Poor play by Irvin Small. Cheap shot.
46-39, a 7-point lead for the Fighting Illini.
Remember, he's from Simeon High School. Could be a little boiling blood. A very close friend of Deion Thomas. Good move by Lou Henson, removing him from the game.
Bullard trying to follow Jepson.
Jepson with the big play.
Matt Bullard made that play, Dick, following his shot.
I'll tell you one other thing. Small's actions could have given his club a lift. He could have motivated them. Irvin Small sitting on a sideline now where he belongs. Take a look right here. Now, you tell me if this isn't a mugging. Oh, there's Jepson with the score.
Matt Bullard, to see the congratulations, take a look at that. He tipped it after following his shot.
There's Jepson with the deuce on the inside, really working hard on the interior.
He converts the three-point try. It's 46-42, and he'll check out of the game briefly. Jay Webb comes in. Listen to the crowd respond to Jepson.
Well, they should respond in a positive way. I think that little move by Small could have given his team a tremendous lift.
It was a 4-point lead at intermission. It's a 4-point lead again for the Flying Illini. 4 minutes gone in this second half.
Jones can score down inside. If you get the ball inside the gut of the defense and then look opposite, you usually get a good shot.
Bowman kept alive. Dale Reed picks it apart. Reed and Rodell Davis have come into the game, along with Lookinville, with Moses on the pine with Bullard and Jepson.
They do a good job swinging the ball against the defense. They just skip pass side to side. Tom Davis has always been a proponent of the bounce pass. They usually utilize that bounce pass. You got to look at the basket. Reed's got to look at the basket, make himself a threat. See, he does not even look at the basket.
Reed drives the baseline. And you see the turnover going to be the end result. Over and back, and Illinois gets it back.
The one thing you want your players to do is to catch the ball, square to the basket in triple threat position. You can shoot it, you can pass or drive.
In 1846, this was the capital of the territory of Iowa. In 1847, the capital was moved to Des Moines as they became a state in the United States. But this building was given to Iowa University here in Iowa City. It stands there today. Now, as we move into Carver Hawkeye Arena, this building erected in 1983, and the tradition continues. College basketball since 1902 being played here in the farmland of Iowa. That's a 4-point Illinois lead. And the question now arises as Hayden Fry looks on, head football coach of the Hawkeye team, coming off a disappointing year, looking for better things in 1990. Tom Davis with a tradition for movement. Of course, he coached at Lafayette, then later Boston College, Stanford, and now here at Iowa. Will he become a part of the Iowa tradition and stay with this job for more than 5 years?
Well, Tim, I'll tell you, they got 5 consecutive NCAA berths. There'll be no NCAA berth this year, and they're going to have to really upgrade their recruiting to be able to get into the upper echelon where Iowa has been accustomed to be during the Lute Olson era and even during the George Raveling era with great athletes. See, that's the gut of the defense, and look opposite rather than turn and shoot, because he draws a crowd once you get it into the gut and heart of the defense.
Jay Webb, he's fouled.
They beat Illinois down the floor.
Bardo with his second, 15th foul.
See, they throw the ball right over the top. Skinner to Jay Webb. Here's the good catch. And then he takes the ball and gets blasted. They can't seem to come up with a three-point opportunity. They're getting fouled as we look at Bardo with his second foul. I'm such a big fan. What a classy kid this Bardo is. His parents have to be extremely proud of the way he is really developed, not only as a player, but as a person. He's just solid gold.
Andy Petty, number 50, coming into the game now for Illinois, as Jones sits down and Webb at the line.
When I look at the Iowa makeup and the composition of their team as Webb converts the free throw, I see a lot of number 4 and 5 options, but you don't see guys with the potential to be a number 1, 2 option, all of the guys they've had here in the past.
And Jepson re-enters as Webb sits down.
He has become a star here and a fan favorite with the Iowa people.
46-44, as close as the Hawkeyes have been since the first 3 minutes of the game. Gill.
What a great play. Absolutely sensational play by Gill to keep his balance and to be able to convert that and score.
48-44, Bullard.
Bullard shows his versatility. He's got three-point range, as you can see. He would have been a tremendous college player if he didn't have those knee injuries.
48-47, and the foul against Moses while hawking liberty as the double team between he and Rodell Davis got underway.
I really believe the officiating's been outstanding. Tom Rucker's come back from that injury. They've been right on top of the calls. They've really been on top of the action.
I know you wanted that intentional earlier on Irvin Small, but the point is they very easily could have had a no-call situation. I've seen it times this year when only warnings would be given in those circumstances, and what happens is you just prolong the inevitable, and the inevitable could be an uglier situation.
Well, they jumped right on it. They were right there to break up any potential problem. The one thing that's so dangerous in a game of basketball, it's such an emotional sport, the crowd right next to the players. Let's see here, ball movement.
Bardo for three. Too strong, Lukenbill takes it away from Andy Petty.
Iowa doing a good job on the glass. Nice entry to the box.
Bullard on the blocks, too strong.
Look at Jepson working the offensive board.
He has a dozen rebounds, and he'll go to the line again.
They're really working on the glass. What an effort. Out hustling, out scrapping Illinois on the glass right now. Andy Petty on the floor to give him some rebounding. There's Bullard trying to spin. He's got 3 people on him. And there's Jepson working the offensive boards. There's Andy Petty out of junior college. Had an injury earlier this year, number 50. An inexperienced player, but a kid with good jumping ability.
Jay Webb will apparently come in for Jepson. 4 for 7 at the line tonight.
Petty played a lot earlier this season, Tim. He's from out of junior college in Illinois. Raw talent, very physically strong.
It won't fall. Problems at the stripe. Jepson 4 for 9 on the night.
That's the pass that's over the top of the defense. Very difficult pass to adjust it. There's the zone defense. Looking to 34, a hustler and a scrapper. Playing very soft on the perimeter. See, right now, Bardo's going to be wide open. He's got to turn and look at the goal. He missed his last 3. There he is. They're playing right off him. Square his body to the basket when you catch the ball.
Not a lot of movement inside by Petty. He's got it now, though. And it won't fall.
Jepson over the top of everyone. Comes down with the rebound.
And he looks for Looking Bill. And it won't go down. What hustle by Bullard.
Iowa's coming up with every loose ball. Aggressive basketball. That's one of the arts of playing aggressive basketball. Get the loose ball.
Away from the ball. A foul against Rodell Davis.
Rodell Davis can't believe it. The Iowa staff can't believe it. There's a look at the doctor, Tom Davis.
Dan Chrisman with the fall, and that foul away from the ball again. Another message being sent by the officials. Don't get out of control, fellas.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The officials are going to be, again, a little evaluation. February 4th, Rich Walt's going to have them all on the phone. He goes over all the different problems, things that he'd like to see improve. He's doing a great job communicating with the officials, the coaches. And that's hats off to Jim Delaney, who I think is going to be a solid Big Ten commissioner. He's a former player, you know, at North Carolina, so he's a basketball guy, and I like that.
48-47. Illinois with a 1-point lead.
There's the zone defense, allowing them to shoot the perimeter shot.
Webb with the rebound.
Good inside position by Webb. They're getting one shot, Illinois.
Skinner got a lane, and the foul.
Boy, Skinner pushing the ball up the court quickly. The crowd appreciates the effort. It's so good to see kids play above themselves, to overachieve. And that's the beauty of college basketball, where emotion plays such a part. I don't see emotion right now on the Illinois team all night here. There is no doubt, head-to-head, man-for-man, Illinois is the stronger basketball team. But that doesn't necessarily mean you win in basketball. It's the team effort, it's emotion, it's intensity. A three-star player can outplay a five on a given night.
C.J. Bowman coming back into the game. Kendall Gill will sit down for Lou Henson and staff. We've gone 2 minutes without a basket. Skinner at the line. He wins the drought at the stripe.
There's the Illinois bench, very passive. This is a big game for Illinois. Remember, they got 3 losses. They can't afford number 4 if they want to stay in a hunt for 1, 2, or 3.
The Hawkeyes have the eye of the tiger at home.
Good job defensively in transition by Iowa. After the initial trap wasn't there, they rotated back quickly. Now here's where the 2 supers got to take over. Gill and Bardo on the perimeter.
Jones boxed in down low. Just not a lot of activity down there.
Well, right now, Liberty's got to look to shoot, and there it is, the open baseline, Jay. The 3 big fellas will Gill out of the game right now, but Liberty, Gill, and Bardo, when Gill comes back, they got to take the game over if Illinois is going to go back to Champaign with a W.
50-49, the Illini reclaiming the lead, and it's kicked out of bounds by Marcus Liberty.
They got a big date Sunday with Indiana and the Hoosiers, and that'll never be easy.
It's a 1-point game. You have to wonder if Hayden Fry is recruiting right now.
No, he's calling up Bo Schembechler. He says, can I come and be the vice president of the Tigers? I'll tell you what, Hayden Fry, that's Houston in Texas. Carl Herrera from Texas, and I'm at Houston and Texas with Travis Mays and Joey Wright. One of the real underrated backcourts in America. We talk Porciani, Monroe, Gill, and Bardo. And then Florida with all kinds of problems. Don DeVoe, Struggle City, USA. It has not been Gainesville, it's been Doomsville this year in athletics at Florida, going against Wimp Sanderson and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
50-49 here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. 11:33 remaining in this ball game. I'm Tim Brando along with Dick Vitale. The Hawkeyes making it tough on the Flying Illini.
Tim, I mentioned Alabama, Florida. Florida's such a great school, great facility. Norman Sloan had them in high gear in the NCAA the last 3 years. That program should be one of the great programs in America.
Jepson gets it to Reed for 3. Too strong. Foul against Jepson up the back.
good what we always talk about, inside-outside action. They dump it inside. Jepson draws the crowd, and he kicks it back outside. Iowa with the advantage on a front court. Again, no shock whatsoever. Can the perimeter game of Illinois beat the front court of Iowa? That is the story. Will big prevail?
Gill looking long. Feeds Liberty.
Marcus Liberty. What a year he's having. He really struggled after gaining eligibility last year, but he's now become the player everybody thought he would be when he came out of King High School. So highly acclaimed.
James Moses, again, has not scratched in this game. Number 24 up at the point, you see. And Iowa needs to get some scoring from him outside if they are to balance out the problems in the backcourt that they're experiencing.
He's got to look at the basket. See, he's not even looking at the basket. Watch when he catches the ball, Tim. He's not looking at the basket because he's having shooting woes. Now, that's one time he looked.
Oh, a nice pass into Bullard. He stripped, but Looking Bill retrieves, and it's taken out of there by Bardo.
That was a set play. He was looking on the inside. They got the numbers.
Gill. Rejected, goes back up again. A tie ball.
Hey, Gill looks, he says, you can't be serious. I can't believe this.
The arrow to Iowa.
But it was definitely a block shot. No contact.
And Matt Bullard doing the best he can with that brace on that knee.
There's Kendall Gill working inside. And there's the good timing. Matt Bullard with the block shot. See, Bullard has ball handling skills. He just doesn't have the kind of mobility he once possessed.
Jepson up high, looking low for the flash. It's not there. Bullard pops outside. He's fouled by Marcus Liberty. Yeah, you're right. It's scary how good Bullard could have been and how much he could have grown had he not experienced that injury. Marcus Liberty, you see, picking up his third. He has some of those qualities of a Tom Chambers, the type of guy that can go inside but really is effective outside.
Ooh, I don't know about Tom Chambers now.
Well, no, I'm just talking about in the development stages.
All right, we'll keep the development stage.
Well, that's what you've been talking about, how far he could have come without the injury.
Tom Chambers is a tough, hard-nosed inside player, but there's a look at that injury, and that's really restricted his mobility. He's certainly coming out of Colorado, was highly acclaimed and highly thought of.
And again, remember the point I'm making in development. A youngster that experiences that kind of injury, and we see a foul against Skinner.
Right in front of the Illinois bench. Skinner reaching in, gets called for the foul.
That's his second and the 15th foul against Iowa. And P.J. Bowman, number 10, about to enter the game now for Illinois.
You mentioned Tom Chambers. He's over at Phoenix, and I'll tell you, Phoenix, Cotton Fitzsimmons done a great job, but that's where Kenny Battle, part of the flying Illini machine. Remember, they lost so much from up front also. Nick Anderson goes to the NBA. Kenny Battle's in the NBA. They lost Lowell Hamilton on the interior. So both these clubs have been hit hard by graduation in the NBA.
Liberty with a soft rainbow on the baseline. 54-50.
Got that good touch.
Davis rejected by Jones. Jepson loses it to Davis. Moses will follow. This is a fourth opportunity lost out of bounds to the Illini.
It's getting a little bit dangerous right now for Iowa. They got to be very careful of an Illinois spurt. Tom Davis knows that Illinois has the ability to go 8-1 on you, 10-0.
Still a charge. They'll wave it off. And remember the empty trips by Iowa the last 3 times down the floor.
Yeah, Kendall Gill, though, Timmy, and a little bit out of control, taking the ball to the goal. That's the 3rd foul tonight on Gill, but that's the 2nd one in transition, trying to go to the goal, and the play was not there.
You see the time remaining. A 4-point Illinois lead. Since Iowa grabbed the lead for a brief time, they've been outscored 6-0.
Bullard is a trail man against the pressure, always having a guy you can reverse the ball to. There he is, the reverse man. Great size to look over the top of the defense. Then he slides inside. They got to get Jepson down inside. He's got to go down in the lane. Take advantage of his size.
Bardo really doing the job fronting Bullard once he moves inside. Now Matt moves back out.
See Jepson now posted. They missed him. They had him right there. Lookinville missed him.
Shot clock down to 13. Out of bounds. Iowa will control it.
They've really looked a little bit sloppy in their rhythm offensively in the last 3 possessions, Iowa.
Now the shot clock shows 45. That must change, and we'll have a stoppage of play. Lou Henson pointing out to Ted Hillary, the ball went out of bounds, but there was no attempt to launch a shot. So 12 to 13 seconds should be remaining on the shot clock. Instead, we see a fresh 45.
Officials going to converse on it.
You see the shot clock there showing 45. That will have to be adjusted as Tom Davis takes the time to meet with Troy Skinner.
There's Tom Rucker talking to Ted Hillary.
Point could be they may be thinking that Illinois had touched the ball, maybe claiming possession, thereby Iowa getting the fresh 45.
I think the one thing I don't like with the shot clock in college basketball, you punish the defensive player. If I block your shot, let's say 24 seconds have gone by, I block the shot, it resets at 45. I don't believe you should reset it on a blocked shot because it penalizes the defensive player. Tom Rucker explaining to Lou Henson.
It's apparent they'll keep the 45 seconds.
See, right now, they had him right there. They had an open lane to him. Now, a little bit late with the entry. Yeah, Liberty does a good job fronting.
That's the point. Illinois had possession and lost it, so the 45-second shot clock remains intact.
That's what they told him. Good call, Mr. Brando. Right on top of it. The Zebra Man. Look, Brando in a zebra uniform.
Bullard looking low.
Gave up his dribble. See, now here's where Jepson's got to assert himself. He's been really an effective player inside. Now he's got to really flash and want the ball down inside.
Looking Bill is free. Liberty gambled and lost.
Looking Bill with the good move to the goal. He's a hard-nosed, a tenacious competitor.
Looking Bill with 8. Here comes the defensive pressure from the Hawkeye.
There's the trail man. Once the trap, they have a man to reverse the ball and swing it away from the trap.
54-52, under 8 minutes remaining. Big Monday from the Big Ten.
I'll tell you, we had a great game with Michigan and Illinois. We had a great game with Wisconsin and Minnesota. And it looks like we got another one that might go to the last shot.
Rejected. Count the basket. Bullard after it hit the glass.
Scored a basket. Well, Tim, you could take the ball off the glass in college basketball. You can't in the NBA. But what happened right here, he got the ball not on its upward flight, on its downward flight off the glass.
56-52, 7:45 remain. It could be a pretty last 7:45. Stay with us. Bob Lee, we look forward to Sports Center, and then, of course, we're off to the Big West as Big Monday continues. It's a 4-point game. Illinois 56, Iowa 52. And the Hawkeyes have been tough, hanging in there, even with their problems in the backcourt.
So difficult to win on the road. We've said it time and time again. Look at Minnesota. Having so many tough times on the road, but at home at the barn, it's like blowout city. They really are so effective at home, as yesterday they proved it, blowing out Indiana.
Well, they hammered the Hoosiers. That game was not close early on. Fans wanted a foul, but a good no call as Skinner operates at the point for Iowa.
Changing on the boxes inside. The 3-2 set. Oh, they had Looking Bell. Good exchange. Good horizontal screen across the lane. They're always looking to go to the box. There it is. Oh, they missed again. They look inside. They run those cuts to the ball very well.
Earl gets it. Jepson loses it. And P.J. Bowman clears it for Illinois. Out to Kendall Gill. Jepson. He's claimed 15 rebounds in this game.
But now, right now, Tim, he's got to assert himself in the lane.
Skinner. Earl keeping it alive.
AC Earl really playing well tonight. He's really been a productive player. Very active.
56-54. 6:47 and counting.
5-on-5 now. Illinois got to get execution out of their half-court zone offense. Bartle got to turn and look to the goal. P.J. Bowman has gotten a lot of playing time lately. Hoffman has been on the sideline. See, there's the inside-outside, but Jones should look opposite. Never look to the same side.
Jones. Les Jepson with another rebound.
And he wants to be the Windex man again.
Skinner stops and pops. Earl can't get to it. Cleared by Bowman.
They got the numbers. Give it up. Give the rock up.
Gill. Boy, missed a chippy. And finally collects the foul, and he'll get to the line as Bill picks up the foul. The Illini have not gone to the line in this entire half.
Well, you know, right there, Tim, we take a look as he looks left, kicks it right. He sort of nonchalance, he gets a poor angle. See, right there gets a poor angle, but gee, the great athletic ability with the reverse, gets fouled. A lot of guys would have not come up with that offensive rebound. You know what makes the Big Ten so special? I really find in traveling across the Big Ten, facilities like this, the home court. You go down to Champaign. It's beautiful down in Champaign, the excitement. Certainly down in Bloomington, another special place when the general walks out. And I'll tell you one thing about that team. Young and dangerous, but right now lacks the physical strength and the power up front. They're just missing a big player or two to join those young kids in the future to finish the puzzle to where they'll be one of America's blue chip teams.
You have to wonder if that Purdue loss at home took the air out of that young team and if they have not yet recovered from that loss.
Well, they're going to beat some people. They got so much talent, but they're very young.
58-54, there's the trap. Moses frees it out to Bullard. Dale Reed operating at the point now, number 3, only a freshman.
Swinging the ball side to side, getting good 17 feet apart spacing so you can't double on a basketball, then trying to set the screen along the baseline. Always looking to screen across the baseline.
Moses into the paint, his first deuce of the game.
That's the first bucket, as you just said, Timmy, by James Moses. A left-handed driving layup, a known perimeter shooter whose shot has disappeared.
Pardo with the penetration, trying to set up Bowman. He'll take it now anyway. Webb clears.
One shot, baby. That's all they're getting here at Carvel Hawkeye Arena. See how they flash to the ball?
Bullard, too strong. Davis after it. Lost out of bounds. It belongs to Iowa.
Iowa gets the call, and Webb comes over, taps the official, says, I like that call. She likes it, too. And there's a look at Lou Henson and his...
This is the first time we've seen Small, Dick, since the incident. Since the incident with he and Skinner, and quickly Henson got him out of the game. Now Urban Small comes in and listen to the boos.
He's got to control himself. He's basically a nice kid, very emotional.
58-56, under 5 minutes left. Moses. The body lean won't go, and Bullard picks up the foul.
Not a good shot by Moses in that sequence. Not the shot you're looking for.
That gets his first foul. You know, Tom Miller was his coach, Dick, at Colorado, and he had an incident with Coach Miller. And I asked him earlier if, in fact, he matured from it and what his feelings about the Buffalo program were. They struggled really in the Big 8. Now they're having a better year. He said, you know, I really am happy for the Buffaloes and how many positive things have happened to them since my exit. And you really get the feeling it was just a philosophical difference he had with Miller. And both parties now have separated, but they keep in contact, and good things are happening to both.
Well, Vanderveer down there is really an underrated player down at Colorado in the Big 8. Certainly a solid conference. If I had a rate right now, they're one of the top 4 conferences in America. I push them past the SEC right now because the SEC doesn't have a dominant team other than LSU, potentially a dominant team. After that, you see a lot of mediocrity this year, but it runs in cycles. When Kentucky's back, when Florida gets back, you see the SEC right up there with the Big 10, Big East, and certainly the ACC.
Miller was, of course, an assistant, a longtime assistant of Bob Knight's.
Well, Bobby's had so many guys coaching on a collegiate level. All right, right now, Tim, each possession gets really important. Down 4. We're down to what we call crunch time, always exchanging. Iowa along the baseline.
Looking Bill, left 3. He'll drive. Bullard with lean.
Tough shot right there by Bullard, leading in the air.
Each trip so very difficult for Iowa offensively. They trail by 4.
Well, they can't seem to get anything easy.
Skinner with the steal, keeping it alive. Small knocks it free. And Small converts with the foul on Skinner.
Tough play right there. Small comes up with the play. Illinois capitalizes on the loose ball. They pounce on it. Now right here, the ball is on the deck. There's the dump down. Small, alert, goes to the basket, catches it, scores, gets fouled on a play.
That's number 3 on Skinner. And Irvin says, yeah, I'm back in, fellas. And Bardo's happy to see him.
I'll tell you, Illinois would have been a real dominant team with Deion Thomas. He's one of those impact players. You know, when you talk about as he misses the free throw, great freshman, you think of Hurley and you think of Kenny Anderson. Deion Thomas wasn't top 100. He was top 5 in America.
4 minutes left. It's a 6-point Illini lead. Jepson!
Where have you been, Big Les? About time they looked inside to the big fella. He's been tough to handle, but they haven't gotten him to rock in the last 5 possessions.
He has 16. It's a 4-point game, and the crowd becomes a factor.
They keep hanging at 4, Tim. Going to use the clock, take a lot of time. Here's where poise takes over. They really almost play 4 guards because Liberty has guard ability. When you look at Bowman, Bardo, Gill, and Liberty.
The chant is on for defense.
Guard-oriented team, Illinois. Bardo, big 3. A big 3 by Bardo.
He has 10.
Very poised, shooting the ball. Not a big scorer. He's had a lot of games this year. He hardly scored at all, but he does so many other effective things.
Moses looking to drive again. Oh, he takes Bardo down to the baseline and loses it. 65-58. Iowa with a lot of missed opportunities and trips down the floor, trail by 7.
We take a look at Marcus Liberty, number 30, working the baseline right now. There he is, moving without the ball. One of the important arts of basketball. There's a soft little J from the baseline, a baseline beauty. Marcus Liberty on the other side. Big Les Jepson making himself a big-time NBA prospect. Number 51 with the slam jam band. And there's the storyline, Timmy B.
The backcourt advantage, obviously, with Illinois. And, of course, Les Jepson, in large part by himself, the front court advantage against Illinois.
Hey, you know what I want to wait for? After the game, will we see a handshake? Will we see a handshake by Lou Henson, Lou Do, and Tom Davis? Hey, next Monday, I'll tell you what. Mark this down. The Zoo crew down at Northwestern will be ready in high gear. They had to win over Wisconsin. They play everybody tough at home. And Purdue will have a tough game at Northwestern. It will not be easy for Gene Cady and the Boilermakers. He knows it. Their players know it. And Northwestern will come to play. I can't wait to be there. That's an exciting place to be. Have you ever been there, Tim? It is exciting. I was there the year they upset Indiana. The year that Indiana won the national championship, and it was just a great, great place to be. The Zoo crew.
Iowa, since leading 50-49 with 11 minutes left, has been outscored 15-9 by the Illini. And in lieu of that, we see a 7-point advantage for Illinois. Lookenbill hustling to try to steal it from Bardo.
Right now, they need the big stop. This is the game right here. If Illinois gets a score, they're going to go back to Champaign with the W.
And Jepson way out from the basket. Still gets the rebound.
See, now, right now, they got to look down to either Jepson as one of their key options or Bullard.
He has 17 rebounds now, Les Jepson.
They can't take too much time off the clock. There's the dump to the baseline.
Moses rejected by Bardo. Bowman was out of bounds. Iowa controls.
Moses, a known guy with long range as a shooter. One of the biggest cheerleaders in the place tonight is Mary Henson. She's so supportive. The wives go through heck. I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. Yesterday I saw the pain and the look of Lois Tarkanian in the UNLV game. And
there's Bullard.
What a great play. Jepson to Bullard. High-low. That's the option you want.
65-60, over 2 minutes left.
Free throw shooting is going to become big now at the end of this game.
There's a turnover. Troy Skinner has a 3-on-2.
They missed Lookenbill. He was wide open.
Moses
with the deuce. I get a T.O., baby. Lou Henson.
The Hawkeyes get it, and they're down by 3.
We take a look right here. At this time, the score is 65-58. If he converts here, they're up 9, and it's academic. I said it was a big possession. And Jepson cleaning the glass. The Windex Player of the Week 2 weeks ago, having a field day on the boards today. Gets that possession. They score twice in a row, and now it's a 3-point basketball game going to the buzzer. A typical Big Ten finish.
And Tom Davis with that huddle breaking, and Les Jepson certainly the catalyst. 17 rebounds. That's a season high. And he has been high and in gear for this game against Illinois.
And there he is, exhausting himself also. Up on the baseline, trying to bother the ball coming in bounds.
Now will the backcourt of the Illini come to the forefront.
Execution so important right now.
Liberty gets the roll.
Liberty takes it to the goal. Someone questioning the shot right there with a three-point lead, but he converts.
He has 20 now, does Marcus. Moses steals it. Moses fouled by Liberty. And that's the second time we've seen a perimeter jump shot bring forth a foul from Illinois, and you wonder why.
Yeah, not really an intelligent play. You're up 5, Timmy. You got the clock running. Right now, you stop the clock. You pick the 4th foul. You get your 4th foul. There's Liberty now attacking the shooter, and there's the little bump, knocks him to the deck. Not a good play by Marcus Liberty. Not a good play at all. It does 2 things. 1, it stops the clock very obviously, and 2, it gives him a chance to score, and you can add the 3rd, if he does score, a chance to get into good defensive pressure positioning.
Iowa with many opportunities at the line. If they lose this game by a small margin, they'll look back to the opportunities they had at the stripe. The Illini have only been there twice in the second half, and in defense of Moses, Dick, since the loss of Garner and Thompson, they're asking him now to be both a guard and a forward as opposed to just playing the guard's position. 6'7", 64.
He's a versatile athlete. There's Jepson bothering to play inside and using his great size. Oh, they reversed the ball quickly. See, right now they got to play intelligent. Winning teams know how to play at the end of the game, make the intelligent play. I watched the end of that St. John Syracuse game, and I thought Syracuse played well at the end of the game.
Lou Ensign spreading the floor this trip.
Yeah, he's going to utilize his guard play to dominate, spread, go into almost a 4 corners attack. Not the typical North Carolina 4 corners. Trying to take advantage of the athletic ability, one-on-one. He's going to let him stay off him and use the shot clock. Run it down.
It's down to 10. Shot clock at 10. Steal by Jepson.
Not a good pass. Poor execution. Remember, 3-point shot. Moses can shoot it.
2 timeouts remaining for Iowa after this one taken. The crowd feels it. 44.5 seconds remaining. A 3-point Illini lead.
They got to think 3 right now, Tim. And right now, Skinner has the ability to shoot it. So does Moses, even though he's not been hot. Jepson really working hard on the inside, 51. He's rebounded, 17 rebounds, and there's the alert awareness as he makes the steal and a turnover and a poor play by Illinois down the stretch.
You mentioned it earlier, so difficult to win in the Big Ten on the road. One of the reasons, Dick, I believe, is the fact that when you go on the road in the Big Ten and in the Southeastern Conference, you have to take long road trips many times. Maybe not in the case of this particular game, but many times you go, you sit in the hotel room for such a long period. Now you find yourself in a position of waiting for a game for a long span of time, unlike the ACC, as the Vital fanatics look on. But do you agree with that?
Well, I think so. There's no doubt about it. Travel becomes a factor. Not very easy to get to places like Champaign and Bloomington. Coming up later, Big West action. Cal State Fullerton, University of California, Santa Barbara. One of my favorite coaches there. Jerry Pym does a great job. Just a beautiful guy.
Are you surprised, Dick, with just over 44 seconds remaining, that as we look at the lovely wife of Tom Davis looking on?
That's Tom Davis, Rudy Washington's wife, right next to her.
Do you think that it's interesting that we're not seeing Matt Bullard on the floor?
Yeah, I definitely feel that Bullard right now would be a vital cog, shooting the ball, passing, and experience. That's a look at Mary Henson, very nervous right now with the orange top in her Fighting Illini outfit. The wives go through heck, the pain they suffer on that sideline. But to set the stage right here, 44 seconds on the clock. We're looking at a situation of a 3-point lead. Illinois has the 3 points on their side. Iowa's got to think 3 right now. Lou Henson's got to think a 3-point defense. He certainly has the personnel to play against the 3-point shot.
And Bullard, as we mentioned, out of the lineup recently, 2 for 5 for 3-point range. He's not on the floor. He is on the bench. Now remember, he does have the bad knee. And we'll check on that. Looking Bill for three. Banks it in.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Not pretty, but it went down.
Liberty goes the distance, rejected. Matt Bullard is on the floor. He just came in and he rejected it.
Not a good play by Liberty right there. They're going to show some intelligence and patience.
Liberty shot. Gill following. Bullard keeping it alive. Skinner retrieves. Timeout. Hawkeyes.
Illinois has put themselves in a position to get on a plane and go out with an L because of unintelligent play down the stretch. Did not play intelligent. Listen to this madhouse. We take a look at Bell. Certainly not pretty. He bangs it off the glass. That looks like your three, Timmy. And now Liberty tries to take it in his own hands. They got time on the clock. He's going to go at length of the court. He's going to try to utilize his athletic ability, get the score, take it up. There's the block shot. They still come back with the ball, Illinois. And right now, rather than spread the court and get the high percentage shot,
look at Lou Henson waving them back. He wanted them not to bring it inside. He wanted to perhaps hold the ball, not take this shot at this particular point on the floor with the game tied on the road in the Big Ten. His team did not listen.
Well, right here, the place is Bananasville. You got to love it. Big Ten basketball, it seems every game comes down to the buzzer. Just do it, Hawkeyes. They're screaming, just do it.
Timeouts remaining, 1 for Iowa, 4 for the Illini. The possession arrow with Illinois. 11 seconds from overtime.
Iowa's got to be concerned with the athletic ability of Illinois. Pressure in the basketball.
11 seconds. Remember, that 0 means tense. It is 11 full seconds remaining.
Got plenty of time to get the ball up the court. Jepson's the guy they got to go to. Jepson's the guy.
Yes!
Jepson with the nose. Jepson with the nose.
Tenths of a second left on the clock. Tenths of a second left on the clock, and less is more in Iowa City.
Les Jepson's the guy they got to go to. He gives the rock up, and now look at him sprint, and he wants the ball back. And now he's going to take it to the goal. One of the most improved players in America. A kid that was a nobody has become a somebody. He is now a big man on the campus, not only in size and stature. Big Les goes up, says, I'm going to score for you, Dr. Tom. I'm going to get you the W, baby. And they rock and roll, and they shake and bake in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Illinois played very poor, Tim, down this stretch. 1.5 seconds remain. Remember, the clock does not start until the ball touches the hands of a player on the floor.
Remember this, Dick, as we showed you in the replay when Illinois had retrieved the offensive rebound. The head coach wanted his team to bring it out. Hold on to it. Take the last shot. The worst thing that could have possibly happened is overtime. What happened was Iowa wound up with that last chance, and Les made them pay.
Well, they poorly executed down the stretch, Illinois. Had the 7-point lead, up 65-58. Big possession, came up empty. And from that moment, it has been all, baby, all Hawkeyes. And this guy has been the star. He'll be BMOC tomorrow. Big man on campus if they get the W.
Bardo 3 for 3 tonight from three-point range. And it appears that he will trigger it in.
Well,
and after Iowa sees that, they get a timeout.
Well, Lou Henson called the timeout after he sees the defense, and he's trying to get a look. Last year, dramatically, Nick Anderson hit one. in a situation that was unbelievable to beat Indiana. You never know. There's always unbelievable dramatics, it seems, in the Big Ten.
Iowa did get that timeout.
Oh, was Iowa? Because I know Lou Henson was calling it as well.
Iowa picked it up, and I think after they witnessed Steve Bardo on the baseline, they decided, well, we'll get the timeout.
Well, they could have given it to either because Henson was certainly screaming for the timeout. Right now, the coach is playing a little guessing game. Everybody trying a little strategy. But the bottom line, you're looking at a miracle shot now to try and win this game. You got to throw the ball deep. You got to hope for the catch and a look at the goal.
1.5 seconds remaining. They did add a couple of tenths of a second to that clock.
I like the tenths idea. I really do.
The problem that we have as announcers is that we feel we must clarify it because many times you see the 1 and the 5, but not the room in between. So that's one of the reasons why we take the time to tell you how many tenths of a second are remaining on a clock. Otherwise, you could say there were 15 seconds remaining on a clock if you were just tuning in. Those are the facts. The arrow to Illinois. Iowa exhausting their timeouts. Illinois with 3, but it won't matter unless they send it to OT.
Isn't this a beautiful facility? The place, the environment, the color, the black and gold. Just a gorgeous place here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Let's see what Lou Henson plans. Bardo's going to trigger it in. He has size. Smart move. Lou, right now, Tom Davis is going to put the 7-footer along the baseline to bother the vision to make it difficult for him to throw the ball in bounds.
Coleman, a 3-point shooter, as is Gill at the other end of the floor.
And they brought A.C. Earl in to give him size to protect the basket. Smart move by Tom Davis.
Bardo runs the baseline.
It's over. It's all over, baby. The doctor gets the W. Bruce Pearl shakes his hand. Coaches shake hands.
Iowa gets their second Big Ten victory, and they've knocked off the big ones, Michigan and Illinois.
They beat the 2 heavyweights of the league. Matt Bullard did a solid job. There he is pumping the crowd. And number 51, Les Jepson. John Saunders, baby, this was a great one.
69-67 for Dick Vitale. I'm Tim Brando. So long for Carver Hawkeye. Let's get to John.
Tim and Dick, it seems every Monday here on the big Monday game in the Big Ten, it's been a fantastic finish. Once again,